Hey folks, this is Matt once again. Welcome back to another review. I'm going to try to do a couple, like I've said before, doing a couple reviews today. And one of them being Beyond the Law, thanks to ClassicRocker. Like I said, these are probably going to be sort of shorter reviews. I don't have to go too in depth on these. But this is a film you can see stars Charlie Sheen, Linda Fiorentino, you have Michael Madsen, you have Rip Torn in a small role, which yes, I know he hasn't passed away. When I reviewed Club Paradise, I was wrong about that. Just because for some reason he wasn't in Men in Black 3, and they said in Men in Black 3 his character died. For some reason that made me think that Rip Torn passed away, and that's why he wasn't in Men in Black 3. But as of right now, I'm doing this review, he's still alive. And Beyond the Law, I didn't realize this is actually made for TV. It's a made for TV film, I believe HBO, which I didn't know that. And it came out in 1992. It was directed by a guy named Larry Ferguson. Now, this guy apparently worked on screenplays a lot. Screenplays for Highlander, Beverly Hills Cop 2, The Presidio, The Hunt for Red October, Maximum Risk. And he says he worked on the story writer's screenplay for these. And apparently he also helped on the screenplay for Alien 3, which is weird because I don't remember ever hearing his name with Alien 3 with, all the different types of scripts. But if I click, I'm just curious, if I click on Alien 3, what does it say? Yeah, it says he's one of the screenwriters with David Gallen and Walter Hill, so I don't know what Larry Ferguson did on the screenplay, but either way, that script sucks ass. But I don't mind The Presidio. Beverly Hills Cop 2, how much of that was the scriptwriter, how much of that was Eddie Murphy. Highlander, okay. And Hunt for Red October. Maps of Risk, I don't mind as a Van Damme film. I don't mind that one. But yeah, this is based on a real life story. Larry Ferguson wrote the screenplay after reading the article Undercover Angel by Lawrence Linderman in July 1981 issue of Playboy on an undercover agent named Dan Black. Black served as a technical advisor on the film and appeared as an extra in the movie. And they actually mentioned that at the end of the film. Pretty much the story is Charlie Sheen, his character. Sorry about that, folks. Sorry about all the coughing. Charlie Sheen's character, he's pretty much a deputy, and in fact, Rip Torn is one of the guys he works with. And for a little bit that he has, Rip Torn does fine. But one thing leads to another, and Charlie Sheen gets fired. But then another guy, which let me get this actor's name. This actor's Courtney B. Vance, who's been in a lot of films like Hamburger Hill, among many others. He plays a guy named Conroy Price. He's a guy who comes in and says, hey, we want your help. We want you to help us go undercover in this biker gang. And this biker gang that not only deals with illegal drugs, but with arms trafficking. And we want you to go very deep undercover and just let you know some guys have tried before and they didn't make it. So pretty much what this is a bit more, this is a serious, well, that's not to put it. This is a more dramatic version of Stone Cold. Like Stone Cold kind of is that idea, but it's more of an action film. But this is more of a dramatic film. Now, the trailer will make you believe this is an action film. It's really not an action film at all. If you go in this film expecting an action film, you're going to be disappointed. If you want to see the action version of this, watch Stone Cold with Brian Bosworth, which I really enjoy. I really enjoy that film, Stone Cold with Brian Bosworth. I think that's a very fun movie. But I like this film too. It's a more dramatic movie, but I thought Charlie Sheen did a really good job. He has a new name, new place to live, grows out a beard, meets this guy played by this actor named Leon Rippey, who I believe he's been in a few films. He was in King Kong Lives, he was in Young Guns 2, Universal Soldier, Cuffs, Stargate. I think he's the guy in Maximum Overdrive. I could be wrong. I think he's the guy that gets greedy at the end and tries to take that ring, and the Green Goblin smashes him. I think that's Leon Rippey. I could be wrong though. But he plays a biker who Charlie Sheen hires to teach him, and it's a fun sort of montage of sequences where the guy's teaching Charlie Sheen, saying if you go in there now, they're going to spot you and they're going to kill you. But he gets Charlie Sheen to build a motorcycle from scratch. He says, "Oh, this jack is too clean." He actually takes around the back and pisses on it and throws it at Charlie Sheen. Charlie Sheen gets pissed and tells him about the colors, that you need colors for what sort of, and what game they used to be in, and there are rules that no matter what happens, you don't protect your colors, and sort of the rules of the game of being a biker. And then he goes into this game, this biker game led by Michael Madsen, which I thought Michael Madsen did a good job. Lyndon Fiorentino is a writer who is with the game just to sort of write about them, then head off. She's sort of like a reporter type of girl. Sort of reporter, but like just a writer type of girl type of thing. And what I liked about this movie is, first off, I thought the acting was really good, especially by Charlie Sheen. It was a good dramatic role for him. Because throughout the film, he sort of gets more and more into the game. Really interesting backstory. I thought this really was a big plus for the film. It's really part of the film that really worked. Is that apparently Charlie Sheen's character was a victim of abuse from, I forget if it was his uncle or if his father or someone, some type of parental figure. And that parental figure was actually a cop. And would actually tie Charlie Sheen's character when he was a kid, tie him up in handcuffs and get beat and stuff. And it got to a point where he had to save himself and protect himself. And you don't see that all in one scene. You see that spotted out throughout the film, and I thought it was done tastefully, because that could have been done very to the point of tastelessness. I thought it was done tastefully. And seeing the images and little sequences, you see a little bit at the beginning, you see a little bit throughout the film, it makes you understand it more. So when Charlie Sheen he sort of succumbs to this role as a biker, he looks at the law, he visualizes that figure who was also part of the law, even though he's a cop. But that part of his brain sort of, for example, he takes a gun to a guy, he's like, "Hey, let's play a game, let's shoot each other. You go first." Or when he's beating on a guy, he's beating on them in front of the cops and actually spits in Courtney B. Vance's face. And then it takes to a point to a film where someone dies, not because of him, but because, okay, this biker gang, they are sort of snaps him out of it and, finishes his job. And people, you may think that the ending is not as satisfying, because again, it's not an action film. This is based on a true story, and it's not an action film. It's sort of like a little stare down between him and Michael Madsen, and I'm not going to spoil what happens, but it's not an action movie type of ending. But I was fine with that, because I thought, it was a dramatic role. It was more of a drama film, but I still thought it went at a quick pace. Thought the score was well done. I like the way it ends with him just walking off, sort of taking off his biker garb and sort of discarding that life and starting anew and walking out into the desert. And then you find out that him and Linda Fiorentino's character got together, the real life person this is based on. And I thought the scenes where he's training to be a biker were fun to watch. I thought, again, Charlie Sheen did a good job, good dramatic role. Again, the backstory that his character has, I thought made the film a bit more interesting. I think without that, it would have been a little bit dull. But again, this is sort of a film that'd be fun to watch back to back with Stone Cold. Stone Cold, you watch the action movie version, then this you watch a bit more of a dramatic version. But again, if you watch the trailer of this, it makes it seem more like an action film. It's not really the case, but it's a good dramatic role for Charlie Sheen. And I think that's the biggest plus for this film. But again, Michael Madsen does a good job. The rest of the cast do fine. It's one of those films I don't really have any problems with. Actually, for some reason, I thought I would not like this film for some reason, because I'm not sure. But I thought the film pulled me in. I thought Charlie Sheen's character with his backstory was interesting, and even Courtney B. Vance it's pretty interesting that even though that happened to you and that figure was a cop, you yourself became a cop. So I thought that was a bit intriguing. And when the stuff they did with that made the film a bit more intriguing. I thought the director, Larry Ferguson, uh, he played that up well and tastefully. It could have been done tastelessly, but it was tastefully done. I thought it was pretty well done, Larry Ferguson. I don't know how much the guy's directed. If I look, I'm sure on IMDb I can find out. Let's see. I'm pretty much what I'm doing is I'm looking up what he directed, not just what he wrote. But directing wise, he directed this film and one more film called Gunfighter's Moon, which was a film starring Lance Henriksen. Of course, as you can tell, it's a Western starring Lance Henriksen, interesting enough. But there's not much more I can say about that because I don't want to spoil everything. But I thought Beyond the Law was actually pretty good. Pretty good Western. Not Western. Got caught up on that. It's a pretty good biker film. It's a good drama, and Charlie Sheen. If you like Charlie Sheen before he went fucking crazy with his winning, win here, win there, win everywhere. If you don't know what song I'm talking about, look up the winning song. You'll know. Winning, win here, win. Before that winning shit, this is the Charlie Sheen I miss. Charlie Sheen is just an actor. When I saw him in stuff like Men at Work, The Rookie with Clint Eastwood, Platoon, films like that, The Arrival, and films like this. I thought Charlie Sheen was an actor, wasn't just a joke, a drugged out joke. But anyway, if you want to see a little bit more dramatic version of Stone Cold, you want to see a good story that's again based on a true story, good performance by Charlie Sheen, some interesting stuff with the storyline, check out Beyond the Law. But again, if you watch the trailer, it's not an action film. I don't know why they made it out to be that way. But either way, thanks for watching, take care, and stay tuned for more videos later.